Okay, so this is another one of my custom race setups. This is I call the Broadway Edinburgh tour. It's a fairly long 10 minutes race that is from Broadway up to Edinburgh and almost back again. I cut it off a bit early. It's not a full circuit. It's a point-to-point race, which is good because it means it has the percentage tracker in the top left-hand corner, which I think is very valuable. By default, the race is set up for GT cars, so I'm here in the Ferrari. I forget the name of the Ferrari. It's an all-wheel drive S1 class Ferrari, 840 power. Oh, kill some trees there. The Edinburgh section is probably the most technical, and both the drive to and the drive back from Edinburgh are mostly just about speed, especially the drive back. The drive back is really rather quick. I'm approaching the first hairpin turn here. Not here, but bit sideways. Got to brake hard. Go off a bit, and that's the turn there. This was before I got the hang of putting checkpoints down, so I do think they're a bit rubbish. And this is a map. This is a race, I'd say, where you have to look at the minimap a bit more than I'd like. I think if I had my time again, and if I do redo this, I'll put checkpoints down a bit more frequently, and I'll put them on the apex of curves like I did in my rally custom race. Because I think that helps guide players a bit better. I brake way too early here, but fortunately the AI brakes way too late, so between the two of us there's probably room for an actual driver to take an actual racing line now. But, excuse me. But I managed to hold on to my lead because of how that AI car just went miles off. Ooh, bit sideways, just kissed that checkpoint on the way through. I was very surprised it didn't bounce me back, but I'm very glad it didn't, because if it had bounced me back, I would, of course, not have used this recording. I try and take a wider line there. I'm not sure if that's what you're meant to do, or if that helps at all. But we should be coming up any second now. We've been heading north all this time. That's the airstrip there. It's where the drag races take place. I've set the weather to what I think is optimum racetrack conditions, which is early afternoon on a crisp summer's day. There we are. Welcome to Edinburgh. The last past that sign, and into what I may have made a too demanding section. Probably went a bit overboard, a bit curve happy in Edinburgh, as you can see. Coming up, blasting down this straight into an immediate 90-degree left-hand turn. Car skidding a bit. And then an immediate 90-degree right-hand turn. You don't build up a whole lot of speed in this Edinburgh section. Well, not this section anyway. You do get a bit faster down here, but down these tram lines. But it's an immediate 90-degree turn. And we drive past the park. This is the section where you can probably get the most speed, I think. I take it very cautiously, but I don't think that's required. This curve fucks the AI up as well. That's, yeah. That's pretty tricky. I don't get that very frequently. Obviously, I knew it was coming. I made this map. I think the checkpoints could illustrate that curve a little bit better because it's not clear when you're just racing it. Another fairly sweeping section past the park on the other side now. Oop, a bit too sweeping there. Go a bit wide, take out stop sign. Take that, cut that pretty close. Right. Now we curve into the cobble streets of this uptown district. And it's around the roundabout once. Through these bollards. And around the roundabout again. I have no idea how you're meant to do roundabouts fast. So I just sort of take the time with it. AI doesn't like that section either. Curve here. That's a pretty well taken curve. I could probably have done with a bit more speed. Another hard turn, followed immediately by another one. It's a bit of a semi-chicane there. Go a bit sideways. Coming towards the end of the Edinburgh section now. Brake way too early and way too hard. No point, but as I've said, the AI has somewhat fallen behind. Down past the church, because of all the earlier curves, the AI can fall behind. Although it makes up the speed through this section, I must admit. Either that or there's rubber banding in this game, I'm not sure. I've never actually seen it. Took that curve a midge too tight there, possibly. Someone lost their bike, but yes, we're now leaving Edinburgh. Like I said, that's probably the most technical section of the race. There is one more section before the home straight, as it were, or the home almost straight. That mountain, or hill, this plateau thing here, we're gonna have a quick pit stop and drive around this. So just the one lap of this hilly road here. I saw it on the way out when I was making the course, and I can't resist. And this isn't quite as demanding in terms of curves. That you can take more speed through these curves, but still there is a talent to being able to take these curves properly, which I am not demonstrating here. Doing this way too slowly. Downhill. And the brakes too early. The thought occurs that I probably should have put more checkpoints in this area. But again, there is only one road, really. So it struck me that it wasn't too... And there's not a whole large area where you can cut this. If you try cutting on the left, the rough terrain and the hill will make getting back on the road very tricky. Anyway, finally a checkpoint. It's not like I was running low on checkpoints. It's just for some reason I decided not to put them down. This was the first race I made, so the checkpoint positions are a bit sloppy. That's a bit too wide, but otherwise a decent curve there. You can at least see that I'm trying to hit the apexes of these curves. I'm not doing too good a job of it, but I am trying. And now we're on the home straight. Or the home isn't straight. Because this is the seaside road. Which is, firstly, a gorgeous place to drive. It's beautiful. Forza Horizon 4 look lovely here. And the other thing is, these curves are quite long, and the road is quite wide, for the most part. So you should be blasting it down here about... Oh, into another village, missed the name. That curve can something. You have to be a bit heavy on the brakes there, as you go past the castle, but that's essentially the only point. Although it's a tragedy to lose first place to that point there. And we're approaching the end of the race here. Up over the hill, and there it is, there's the finish point, hoving into view, and across the line. So, that's my Edinburgh tour. Yeah, it's about, I think a competent driver could probably get round it in like 10 minutes. I take 10 minutes, 38 seconds, so maybe 10 minutes, 20 seconds. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It's available now, so I will see you later.